Last week we touched on your calf strength as a cyclist and a triathlete and how, if you can improve that because the demands placed on it, we can see great changes, potentially in your performance and your resistance to injury as well. But today what we're going to do is cover, well, how do you do that with strength training? So here we find a very common setup to strengthen your calves. It's essentially a wedge or a plate that can enable us to do some form of calf raise off. Now the thing that we always say here on TriTenacious is you can't do calf raises in front of the sink, or you can't do calf raises at body weight at home while you're chatting away on the phone. You've got to get some intensity in it because of the forces that go through your calves every time you push the pedals, and of course when you're running as well at the same time. So if calf raise is the answer, how do we go about it? Well, it depends first of all on how strong you are, but there's two muscles that essentially work in our calves. One is called your gastrocnemius and the other is called your soleus. Now ideally, we want to have a little bit of work through both of them. We've got different methods that we use in TriTenacious to practically do that, but essentially they're the two key muscles that we want to provide strength through. The biggest tip we're going to give today is you've got to make sure that you are loading those muscles when they lengthen. And by that I mean when your calf lowers back down to the floor, i.e. when your heel lowers itself back down. The reason is that is when you are most likely to sustain an injury through the calf region. However, because we've been speaking about cycling as well, these forces that get put through your calf when you're cycling actually occur a lot when they shorten. So we suggest using calf raises that include both shortening and lengthening of a muscle, which essentially, lucky for you, is a typical calf raise exercise. Our final tip would be to make sure that you are doing some type of unilateral, I mean single leg calf work. Just because the fact is usually one calf is significantly weaker than the other. For example, my left is weaker than my right. And if I just keep doing bilateral, balanced two-leg work, I'm not going to correct those imbalances there as well at the same time. So there's a great introduction, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but a great introduction to improving calf strength, to improve, as we said last week, your calves' performance when you cycle. But as a knock-on effect, it's also going to improve performance of these muscles as well in your run. So as a triathlete, it's going to give you much more well-rounded durability for your performance and your robustness to stay injury-free.